Focus on POCUS, not as black and white as it looks. Written by Dominic Smith, sponsored by PhysiQuip. In the UK, more clinicians are taking the plunge into MSK point-of-care ultrasound. POCUS. The buzz is real. Some are seeing it as the modern MSK clinic's next essential tool, while others raise their eyebrows at how practical it truly is, asking whether it is just another expensive thing we can charge more money for. Either way, it's here and growing fast. Our social media feeds are showing packed out courses. There are countless ads for devices and videos and images being shared with a story, whilst we squint at these images pretending to know what they're looking at. So what is the real story? How do you learn POCUS? What should you keep your eye on? We are going to go on a journey and look at it through three lenses. 1. The beginner stepping into the unknown. 2. The educator guiding new learners. 3. And me, the industry insider who's seen behind both the probe and the sales pitch. So why are we talking about POCUS? We can't ignore it anymore. Diagnostic imaging as a whole is a staple part of our industry. Whether you are performing the scans or not, you will likely have referred someone for one at some point. The wonderful aspect of POCUS is that it gives you real-time dynamic imaging and elevates your diagnostic confidence. Rob Bevan, a chiropractor just starting out in ultrasound, puts it like this. My interest in exploring POCUS stems from a desire to enhance diagnostic accuracy, clinical reasoning, and patient communication. In a busy clinic, Rob sees how timely imaging can change the play. Clarifying a working diagnosis, spotting red flags earlier, or simply helping patients visualize what we're thinking. For him, ultrasound isn't a replacement for skills, it's a step up. I see it as a way to strengthen my ability to form clear, evidence-based management plans and improve patient confidence in the process. Mike Bryant, a physiotherapist, sonographer and experienced educator, has watched the landscape dramatically change. He describes ultrasound as a technical skill of probe manipulation, anatomical knowledge and pattern recognition. A skill that you must master by doing, not watching. From my standpoint in the industry, being a sports therapist, BSc, working within the device sales industry offers a rare insight into how both worlds operate. Understanding the clinical nuances of using diagnostic ultrasound, but also the business realities that clinics face when investing in new technology, helps me to separate the hype from the helpful. The sector is developing quickly with more models and variations coming onto the market seemingly every week, and it is hard to keep track and hard to know who to trust. The reality check. Spoiler alert, POCUS isn't plug and play. I learned that very early on. Everything just looks the same at first. For beginners, the screen might as well be snow. Rob expects a steep curve of understanding anatomy from an ultrasound perspective, and he knows his consultations might slow down while he gets comfortable. Mike agrees. The biggest misconception is that it's going to be an easy process and that they'll be proficient after a couple of courses. He warns, it takes time and dedication to grasp the probe skills and the detailed anatomical knowledge. His useful tip is simple. Learn to scan normal anatomy before hunting pathology. From the supplier's side, I see how technology creates the illusion of ease. Handheld devices have made ultrasound look easy. You plug it into a tablet, start scanning, and it seems simple, but that simplicity can be misleading. Back in January 2023, a UK qualitative study emphasised that POCUS implementation faces challenges, including the need for proper training, education and quality assurance frameworks. A proposed framework for MSK POCUS by physiotherapists highlights the importance of integrated scope of practice, education and governance solutions. The takeaway, POCUS is a skill built with patience, repetition and humility. We all begin with fuzzy images. It's the practice that sharpens the view. Mentorship, guidance and the art of feedback. Here's what truly matters. The people you surround yourself with, not just a flashy, fancy machine. Rob's values training where there's a supportive, structured training environment, small groups, experienced tutors and plenty of low-pressure scanning opportunities. Mike has seen and guided many clinicians through the educational pathway and has witnessed the evolution of courses. Initially, there were very few courses you could attend to get close supervision with experts, he recalls. Now I try to keep sessions small and simple with as much scanning time as possible. He designs his courses accordingly. Learning in small sessions and going back to the same area and scanning it again really helps, he says. He's a fan of the online 2-minute video demos that you can pause, replay and practice at your own pace. But he also reminds learners not to get fixated on diagnosing the amazing tendon tear on day one. The main challenge is for most learners is getting regular supervision and remembering to enjoy the process, not rushing to find pathology. Most clinicians I speak to care more about training and educational support than features and benefits. For me, good suppliers aren't just selling a system, they should help you on your journey and make sure you get the most out of your investment. In short, learning POCUS is like planting a garden. You need good soil, regular water, and some time. The seeds don't sprout overnight. The technology, a blessing or a distraction? Ultrasound tech has come a long way. What once filled a room now fits in a backpack or even in your back pocket. Mike observes that this shift has enabled access to more MSK clinicians and made the cost feasible for many more practices. But don't be fooled. From where I sit, yes, accessibility has exploded, which is great, but aggressive marketing can make POCUS appear deceptively simple to learn and lead you into a false sense of security. I'm asked all the time, do you have any demo units, or what is your best price? I appreciate some are on a budget, but if that is your main concern, hang fire on your POCUS journey. Your focus above all else should be image quality. If you're new to POCUS, it's safe to say you will be shit. Try and cut costs. You may get a shit machine, meaning you will likely be double shit. Simply, if the image isn't clear, everything else becomes harder and way more expensive. But consider the other side, where Mike hits the nail on the head. The best probe/device in the world cannot fix a bad operator. You must learn the craft before the tech. I also stress the responsibility to suppliers in this equation. For me, we are just as responsible for offering good care and services to patients. Of course, we have sales targets to meet, but I have seen this blind the reps to just getting a sale done. This short-sightedness risks compromising both clinician confidence and patient safety, as clients may not be getting the appropriate system for their needs or the necessary support and device training. So yes, join the tech revolution, but keep your brain switched on. This is not something to be rushed. Time, patience, and realism. Here's what I tell newcomers. The biggest investment isn't money, it's time. Rob gets this. I know consistency will be key. Building a mental library of normal appearances takes scanning again and again. Mike has seen the drop-off. People come back after 6 months and realise they've forgotten half of it. Keep the probe in your hand, even 5 minutes a day matters. And from the business side, clinicians are great at asking for training, but considerably underestimate how much ongoing support they'll need. Ultrasound is a long-term investment. It isn't like Shockwave, where you can just buy a machine and go, you're buying into a new lifelong skill. In practice, this may mean you have to squeeze in scanning sessions between patients or grabbing your wife, husband, brother or mother to scan them. Pro tip, if practicing on family members, keep them sweet and feed them with treats. Even years down the line, it's good to practice to revisit the basics regularly and stay humble when the images are muddy. Ethics, confidence and the limits of POCUS. The governance and ethics side of things comes into focus with POCUS. Who can you scan? What can you scan? What can you say/not say? These are just some of the questions. Having more access means more responsibility. Rob is mindful of this. It's about integrating findings meaningfully, not scanning for scanning's sake. And Mike agrees. Clinicians want to use it on every patient, but sometimes less is more. Ultrasound is a supplement, not the main event. POCUS comes after a subjective and objective assessment, not before. There's a fine line between being enthusiastic and being overconfident. The technology is improving faster than the regulations, which means clinicians need to act responsibly. Governance will catch up for sure, but in the meantime, as mentioned earlier, surround yourself with good people to help guide you. And again, I stress the responsibility on those in the industry to know the regulations and not pass it off as the responsibility of the clinician. We are in this together. Yes, you can do more with POCUS, but you must also know when to stop, refer, and seek a second opinion. Where POCUS is heading. Looking ahead, I'm optimistic. POCUS use in the UK is growing fast, especially in private MSK practice. AI features are already creeping in to help with image interpretation and workflow, but beware, these fancy features can be a blessing and a curse. Remember Mike's wise words, you must learn the craft, not the tech. Mike has seen how the community is growing as well and how it is bringing people together and inspiring growth. Courses, workshops, peer groups, it's a community now. People learn faster when they share. Rob describes his own path. In the longer term, I see ultrasound becoming an integral part of my professional development and clinical identity. It allows me to offer more precise assessments and communicate findings visually with patients. In short, if you start this journey now, you're getting in early. This isn't just a shiny gadget. You're investing in yourself and your patients and gearing up to become part of how MSK clinics operate. Key takeaways from the three of us. 1. Prioritize the fundamentals. Probe handling, anatomy, pattern recognition. 2. Be kind to yourself. During the learning curve, confidence will go up and down, and that's okay. 3. Commit to time and practice. Regular scanning and regular workshops beat one big weekend course. 4. Have governance and a referral/second opinion pathway. POCUS doesn't stand alone, and you will need support. 5. Buy cheap. Buy twice. If you must, wait and save. Image quality is paramount. Skimp on the system, you skimp on the image. Don't be double shit. Final reflections. POCUS isn't just about seeing what's inside a joint or a tendon. It's about curiosity, patience, and learning how to interpret shades of grey, both literally and figuratively. It's a tool that rewards time and humility, where confidence grows quietly through repetition. The first scans are often frustrating. Anatomy will look alien, the image drifts and changes, even the simplest probe angle feels like a riddle. But as our three perspectives show, the beginner gains understanding, the teacher guides progress, and the industry insider brings perspective. At its best, POCUS doesn't replace assessment or instinct, it sharpens them. It helps clinicians see what they've always known was there, only now with a bit more clarity and a lot more grey.